all questions afterwards. The slingshot has to be transported over to this area here. For bonus, if you could get the dirty water and the rainwater also in the black area, that is bonus points. Now, the way it is right now, they are in the black area. That's bonus. If you try to eject them, if they can stay in the black area, great, but you'll notice the dirty water rolled out, then those are not bonus. They do not count as bonus. But if you don't eject them, they are bonus points. Last one is the faucet. And the faucet, if you turn it, you want to get mostly blue showing, so a little bit, even vertical is not mostly blue, but even a little over vertical is blue, and turning it the whole way shows 100% of the blue. And that's how you score that. If you touch your robot outside of base, and folks, that means even a little bit outside of base. That means, and I'm going to use the pipe for it, even if it's just a little bit outside of base. And I've seen teams that hit it back here to try to correct the direction. That is a touch penalty. You will be asked to stop your robot, bring it back, and you will get one of the touch penalties. Each one of these is worth -5 points. There's a total of 6 of them. So if you touch your robot 6 times, you can get up to -30 points on your score. So that is that there. If you touch it more than 6 times, that's fine, but it's up to 6 penalties. But if you're touching it that much, you can definitely touch it more than that, and that's fine. Okay, I will take questions now, but I ask that we do not touch the board. We do not touch the pieces on the board. These are not ours. These belong to one of the schools. We are borrowing it from them. We want to make sure they get all of their stuff back. So that's why I'm asking you to step back a little bit so I can answer questions. We'll start over here.
Is there any ways to twist the faucet?
Are there any ways to twist the faucet? Honestly, I don't have an answer for you on that. That's a strategy thing that you have to figure out how to turn that. I don't have an answer for you on the best way to do that, and I don't want to give away any trade secrets.
So basically, if you put the slingshot into the area and you don't shoot it, eject it, it's still bonus points.
It is still bonus points.
So ejecting it wouldn't make any difference.
It could or it couldn't.
What happens if you robots up above? Does it still count and you touch it? Does it still count as?
If it's outside the base, even if it's above, if an attachment crosses that line, yeah. Now remember, this year they changed the rule again this year, which I'm a very happy person about. Your robot is confined to 12 by 12 by 12, and that is before it is launched. Once it's launched, and I've seen this happen before, I've watched a robot go from 12 by 12 by 12 to 30 by 30 by 30, and then back down to 12 by 12 by 12. Yes, the transformers exist. So I've seen that happen, and that's okay. But before launch, and guys, I've seen this also. I've honestly seen a referee pull a ruler out of their back pocket and measure the robot before it leaves base. And if it's too tall, they will stop the robot and push it back, and you won't be able to launch it until it's fixed. Also, base is, guys, can I get over here for a second? Base is defined as from the black line to the wall and 12 inches above it. Some people think, oh, if I have an arm that reaches behind it, that's okay, and that's not okay. It must be confined within the base area. You are allowed to bring a table, a small TV tray table to the side that you could put things on as well. But if you're going to store any mission models, like if you're going to store a big water outside of the base, it's got to be visible to the referee. You can't, it can't be hidden. So you can't put it under the table because that's not visible. It must be visible at all times to the referee. You're also not allowed to bring any of your own models to the table. Only bring the equipment that you need. The robot, the actual robot, only 1 brick, the 4 motors, and you can't bring a 5th motor and say, oh, it's an attachment. We're trading this motor for this motor. That doesn't work. Attachments are not motors. It can only be the 4 regular motors. And then all your attachments, your sensors, and as many sensors as you want. But that's all you can bring to the table. Everything else will be there already for you. The table will be set up perfectly for you.
What happens since one of my teammates He told me last year there was some Bluetooth, something like a
Bluetooth is not
Yeah,
allowed.
like somebody did Bluetooth to somebody else's robots.
You can't Bluetooth someone else's robot, but we've seen it, we've had it, and we've seen it where a parent or a coach will sit in the audience and try to Bluetooth the robot as it's going. We'll try to program it as it's going. Yes, it has happened. It's disgusting, but it's happened. Sorry, coaches, again. But it has happened. Yeah, Bluetooth is not allowed. And a matter of fact, when you go through robot inspection, a lot of tournaments will do robot inspection. They will ask you to prove that your Bluetooth on your robot is shut off, so that it can't happen. Like I said, I've seen it before, and I haven't seen it program someone else's robot. Is it possible? Guys, I feel the table moving, and I don't want it collapsing because it's just sitting on a table underneath, and I don't want those legs collapsing. So that's why I'm asking you not to lean on the table or touch the table. You had a question over here? You forgot it. Think about it. I'll come back to you.
Can the kids build a system of Legos so that they set it down in the corner and they use it to set their robot?
Absolutely. You can build a jig,
So you can bring that to the
and a
table.
jig can be brought to the table, but a jig, again, must fit within the base. It cannot extend out of the base at all. It must be 100% in base. Okay, think about it. We'll come back. Yes, you can actually move the black. You can move the black box. It can move anywhere that you want, but if it even touches the white area, it becomes non-scorable.
Then, as long as anything is in it, you still score.
Yes, yes. So if you want to move it here to score it, that's fine, but it must. It cannot cross the white line.
So when you put when you want to score double points, could it be interlocking the
No,
two of those?
no. If you put two waters, if you want to stack your waters up like this, if you want to stack them, as a referee, I've got to be able to lift that top one off, and if that bottom one comes with it, neither of them score.
Oh.
They have to be totally separate. They cannot be interlocking together at all.
Do the pipes start at base, the blue ones?
The blue pipes both start in the base. We have found the rule that says it. I know there was a debate on that, but they actually both start in the base. They do not start. Those two blue pictures there are the ending pipes that you're trying to connect together with the one in the middle. Those have nothing to do with anything else than just being pretty pictures on the board.
What if those two water things and someone accidentally shoves the table and it falls? Will we get the point?
No, it's observable at the end of the 2.5 minutes. So if you're doing what you guys are doing now, and leaning on the board, or you hit the board too hard, and those fall over, yeah, sorry, that's what happens. So you got to be careful in what you're doing with the board.
You can bring it to base because right here there's mud and the white line doesn't cross there. So if you can somehow bring it through here, cross it through the mud, you can bring it to the base.
Well, actually, if you can bring it through here, you got to carry it over here because if you come this way, you've crossed the white
I
line.
know, but if you could do that and then you can bring it to base.
Yeah, it's pushing it and I'll tell you, the referee's going to watch that carefully, and chances are trying to do oh no, you can't bring it to base because it's here, you have a white line.
Oh yeah.
So no, that won't work.
No, but then you can bring it right there.
I'm going to say this much. I think if you're smart, you'll leave it right where it is.
Or at least try to bring it down there.
I just think it's time that you're wasting by moving it. I would leave it right where it is.
But I'm just saying that some people do
Yeah.
that.
Wait, to score double points on the slingshot, does it have to be both double?
It's not double points. You score points for the slingshot by moving into the black area. You score bonus points if the rainwater and the dirty water are also in that black area.
Has to be both?
Has to be both. Has to be both.
So pretend you just grab like a robot and did this, and then you took that robot away and have a whole new robot for
No,
something else.
no.
You can't do that.
You can only bring one robot up to the table. Now, if you have a robot and for round 1, and you want to bring a totally separate robot up for round 2, that's okay. But you can only have one brick. If you were on a robot and take it, put it to the side, and bring another robot onto the table, that is not allowed. In a 2.5 minute run, you're allowed one robot. 2 operators at a time. If you want to trade out, make sure you talk to the tournament director about that, because each tournament has different rules for tagging in and out. Some tournaments allow the whole team to stand close to the table and do it. I know some tournaments, like my tournament, they have to stand way back to do it. Legoland, they have to stay off stage. They literally have to run downstairs, and then they have to run back upstairs to get the new people in. So it just totally depends on the tournament. So please make sure that when you get information from your tournament director, that you read all the information, because that could be the difference between how you do with your scores and everything.
For the water in the fountain, does it have to be all the way down, or can it be partially in? Because it says some obvious height.
Yeah, some obvious height. This one, pretty much, if you drop the water in, it's going to raise it all the way up. But yes, if it's obviously been raised, you're going to get the points on that one.
We spoke to a judge that said that you can't replace the robot, but you can replace parts.
You
So,
can,
like,
yes.
If you have a backup robot that's like the first one, and a part goes bad, then you can trade that out, but you can't trade out the robot.
You cannot trade out the brick, so don't even bring a second brick into the competition arena. But as long as the robot's in base, you can manipulate the robot however you want. So you can change attachments, but the only thing that you can't, so bring 1 brick, bring 4 motors, and you can't even have a 5th motor sitting off to the side. It's only those 4 motors, but you could trade attachments on and off however you want, and that's fine. In the pit area, absolutely. So if you want to leave a pit in your pit area, my teams have done that before, where we leave a backup robot in our pit area, but I cannot bring it into the competition arena. So
Because like if it breaks.
yes, then absolutely have a backup robot, but leave it in your pit area until you need it. But if it breaks during the 2.5 minutes, you can't trade it out at that time. You're kind of stuck for the 2.5 minutes, and you'll wait till the next round to use your backup robot. So, and things like that happen.
So you're saying that we can't bring our attachments?
You can. Oh, absolutely bring your attachments. Those are all allowed. You just can't bring a second brick, a second EV3 brick, and you cannot bring any more than 4 motors up to the table at one time.
What happens if the water from the
Say that again?
what happens if the water from that?
From what? From
Yeah.
this or from the rain cloud? From the rain cloud? If it doesn't come out, that pretty much would mean that you didn't hit it hard enough or you didn't move it far enough. I've played with that model quite a bit, and in some respects, the slightest movement will actually make that work, and water will fall out.
But what if if we put it in the wrong
Well, you're not going to put it in there. The referees are going to put it in there, and trust me, the referees are going to put it in there in such a way that it will.
He likes pipes.
Yes, he does.
Oh, I have a question.
The referees are going to place it in there in such a way that it will come out. They're not going to set it up so it won't.
He wants to do FLL.
What if you flush the toilet but it doesn't go down?
If the referee sees you physically flush the toilet, and when I say flush the toilet, by the way, coaches, just so you know, I don't know if I said this yet. To reset this mission, a lot of people will say push that back. That's not how you reset it. You actually use the beige gear and roll it back, and that resets the mission. So if you come by, oops, if you hit this and that doesn't come out, that means you didn't hit it long enough. This is not, if you just hit it like that, you'll notice it didn't work. You actually have to hold it down until it comes out, and then you can release. So yeah, if you hit it and it doesn't come out, that probably means you didn't hold it long enough. Because built correctly, that works every single time, and you've seen it every single time I've done it, it has worked.
When you do the flower mission, when you put it on top here, it can only be at the end, or
It can be anywhere in the flower. You can put it anywhere in the flower you want.
Does that include like the petal?
No, it has to be inside the purple area.
I have 2 questions. So like what if it's not built correctly and we push it and we do everything correct with the robot, but then this
I will tell you that at a tournament, it will always be built correctly. And if you don't think it is, ask the referee to test it for you. They will show you that it works. Watch it ahead of time. But at tournaments, I will tell you from running a tournament that we thoroughly test all of our missions before we start because we want to make sure that never happens.
And what do you do with that?
So can the attachments stay in the table? Meaning if you run a robot run and the attachments.
Can you leave an attachment on a table? You can leave it on a table, but if you leave it there, you cannot get it back unless your robot goes and picks it up. So if it falls off or you leave it there, yeah, but you cannot go back and you can't say to the referee, can I get that back? Hey guys, unfortunately, I know I'm out of time right now, but the next half hour, you're able to walk around to any table you want and ask questions. So you're more than welcome to stay here and I'll keep answering questions.